Yes, corporates exist to make profit, and that's perfectly expected in our mixed economy. So that's point A. Corporates exist to make profit, and it's perfectly expected in our mixed economy. But that doesn't mean, B, that we have to support them in everything they do. We have our right to criticize them because, B, corporates, people, are not your friend. They exist to make profit. By definition, they're not your friend. Now, this recent tone that big tech have adopted, that they are your friend, starting off with the original slogan Google had, don't do evil or don't be evil, whatever it was, and the open free food in their canteens that Google, Facebook and others adopted. And yes, admittedly, a more inclusive approach to work, but that's only because profit itself demanded that, because the new generation was by definition more inclusive anyway. So it's not altruistic. But at the end of the day, they did try and succeeded for a while in pulling the wool over everybody's eyes, that because they reflect better the younger generation that work for them, in that they're more inclusive and more tolerant and so on and so forth, that they are your friend. A corporate can never be your friend if you're a person. It is the friend of profit, and it needs to stay the friend of profit because we live in a mixed economy and the purpose of business is to turn a profit. But because we live in a mixed economy, the purpose of people, as opposed to business, the purpose of people is to make sure that other people and their human rights are protected. And so when you're working in these big firms, I think a cognitive shift is required. Big tech should now be viewed not as a friendly, cozy, comfortable place to work, which it probably is, but still, but rather like big oil, big pharma, big tobacco, has, as a result of the huge profits it's now churning, has inadvertently or deliberately, whatever way, doesn't matter about intent, has ended up in a position where it may come into conflict with people's rights. And the gig economy is an example of that, right? But it's not just the gig economy with Uber and all of the controversies surrounding drivers' rights. It's, for example, Facebook seeking to, according to this report in The Intercept from June 12, 2020 by Li Fang, seeking to ban even the word unionize on their intranet, on the internal way the staff communicate with each other on Facebook Workplace. To content control so the staff can't organize and represent their rights. Or Amazon, according to the GMB trade union, refusing to engage with unions and, quote, Amazon purports to be a 21st century company but behaves like a 19th century mill owner. Now, this conversation is even more important, and my last point is this. It becomes even more important because what nobody can really deny is inequality has skyrocketed. And the wealth, the disparity in wealth that exists between those that are the uber wealthy and those that are average people has gone up during lockdown in ways that was never imagined. And most of the people who gained during this lockdown are big tech. Jeff Bezos, Twitter, Facebook and Amazon and Uber and all these online delivery companies, Deliveroo, they are the ones, including supermarkets, that have turned a profit. So it is only right to scrutinize them now because they've got richer while everybody else hasn't. And as I always say on this show, I will always side with people over power. They are the new power. And that's the dynamic, the cognitive shift we have to go through. Big tech is the new power. And it's therefore imperative that staff that work for big tech have protections, and that's why unions become important again.